we're going to talk about Christian mentorship. Mentorship is in the Bible. It is all over the Bible. And if you have thought about being a Christian mentor, today I'm going to give you 4 tips to think about when you start a mentorship relationship with your mentee. Now, where is it in the Bible? I said all over, right? You've got Elijah and Elisha, Elisha and Gehazi, Jesus and the disciples, Paul and Timothy. In fact, Paul tells Timothy, follow me as I follow Christ. And then he tells us later on through the word of God that the aged women should teach the younger and the aged men should do likewise. So mentorship is something we ought to recognize is important in our walk for both the practical and the spiritual side of things. Now, here are my 4 tips if you are going to be a Christian mentor. Number 1, set an expectation meeting. You need to get together with the person that wants to be mentored and ask them the age-old question. Why do you want to be a mentee? What do you want this relationship for? It's important to know why they want it. What's the purpose of this? So you can be able to keep that purpose and that goal in mind as you go along through this relationship. Prayer has to be a part of this meeting at the beginning and at the end, because you want to pray for guidance throughout the meeting, but you also want to pray for the relationship if you agree that the mentorship relationship is right. Yes, I said that. You may meet and not agree, and that is okay. So if as the mentor you don't feel comfortable, you need to let the mentee know. And likewise, if the mentee doesn't feel comfortable, then it's okay. It's just not a match, and that's all right. In this expectation meeting, you want to ensure that you talk about meeting frequency, time, dates, and of course, time frames for calling. If you don't want to answer your phone after 9 p.m., you've got to set that expectation as well. You want to set the expectation of agreement. We're going to agree that we're going to ask some questions that are going to be provoking in thought to provide direction. You're going to agree that, you're both going to listen. You're going to agree that you're going to be available to a certain degree. You're going to agree that you're going to involve teachable moments in the mentorship, which means that, whether it's in the conversation that you're having, you may stop everything and, look at something as a teachable moment. Maybe you go through something and call them up, or they go through something and call you, and it becomes a teachable moment. These are things that you have to expect in the mentorship relationship as things that are an added bonus to the relationship. In the expectation meeting, in addition to what we've mentioned before, we also want to ensure that the mentee knows that they have to bring an agenda. Yes, it's a meeting. There needs to be an agenda. On the agenda, I would highly recommend that there only be the mentee's questions. That's it. If you don't get through the questions, it's okay. But when you're starting off a mentorship relationship, start off with what they need, and that is it. Once you've gotten through the expectation meeting, now you're at number 2. Number 2 is involve your network. You do not know everything, and that is okay. You need to let your mentee also know that you don't know everything. And in addition to seeking God in prayer and through the study of the Word of God, you have to involve other persons at different times based on the nature of the question or the circumstance. So that's number 2, involve your network. Number 3, maintain trust. It's very important with a mentee and mentor relationship that trust is established and maintained. You can take months to build trust up, but only one moment can break down all of the trust that you have tried to establish and to maintain. You've got to agree about being honest, about being open, and being transparent. And that comes from both sides. You both have to agree on following through on your commitments and being available and being flexible. But above all, maintain confidentiality and maintain privacy. And it has to come from both sides of the coin for this to work. In a mentorship relationship, there will be things that are said that are highly confidential and private, and that has to be respected. The 4th thing that I want you to keep in mind when it comes to your mentorship relationship is your experience. You are you. You've been through enough to know that God is enough for you. You have experience and you want to offer your perspective. And I don't want you to downgrade what you have to offer to your mentee. Let your mentee know that you may correlate things back to your experience, not to be prideful, but in order to give the perspective from your own journey or in order to help with getting direction for their own. So remember to never undergrade your experience, your life experience, your church experience, your biblical experience, your spiritual experience when it comes to your mentorship relationship. I hope that has helped you today to keep it simple and also to remember that you can do this. We all can help somebody as we pass along. The song says that our living will not be in vain. So mentors, arise. We can do this and help someone with their practical and spiritual walk with Christ. If you haven't shared or commented, come on, help a sister out. Like, share, and comment on this video. I really do appreciate it. It helps our content to be found across the big world wide web. Have a great day and God bless.